Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 17. You guys, next week is the finale. Can you believe it? This season went by fast. And thank goodness. It hasn't been bad. It just has, I mean, they've had better seasons. And of course, it's all been, a lot of it is because of COVID. It's not much that they can do. So they've stretched out all of the storylines that they can, okay, and have tried to add a new one on at the end here, I see. But other than that, it's just been okay, but I'm not sick of it. So that's a good sign. And 18 episodes is right at the sweet spot. When we start getting to 20, 21, 22, it's too much. So I'm actually good with 18 episodes, you guys. I'm good with it. Anyway, the review. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So remember last week they were at the Blvd taste testing that Kandi and Todd were having. And it's pretty awkward because Marlo is there and Portia and Shamia is there and Kenya's there, and it's just weird, right? For them anyway. I'm so glad that you all came. It was a lot getting this restaurant together, so I'm just glad that you guys was all able to make it. So they go inside, and Shamia has masks for everybody, the kind that's all bedazzled up and lined in crystals and everything, and she even has one for Marlo. Oh, I'm so glad you got one for me. I was gonna cry if you didn't have one for me. And she was like, why wouldn't I have one for you? Okay, you're one of the pain in the ass housewife friends too. So Marlo sits down, and while she's at it, she was just like, you know what? I just wanna apologize for what happened last week. I don't know what was wrong with me. I woke up the next morning and I text Portia and I said I was sorry. Marlo said, damn it, every now and then, just the messy bitch in me takes over. She can't help herself. Portia was just like, yeah, I got the message. I should have texted you back. But she had better things to do, obviously. But I could see the little twinkle in Marlo's eye. Even though she apologized for what happened in New Orleans, yeah, she still has a little bit left in her. So anyway, while they're sitting there talking, Kenya asked Kandi because she talked to her for a second. Kandi and her go to a separate space in the restaurant, and Kenya tells her that Mark showed up. She wasn't really sure what was going on exactly. They hadn't talked about where he was staying, if he was supposed to be staying with her or whatever. Well, I thought you guys were getting a divorce and we're kind of on bad terms, so it seems like it would be automatically known that he wouldn't be staying with you. That's my thought anyway, but evidently it's not Kenya's thought, not necessarily Mark's thought. Okay, so Kandi was just like, wait a minute, I'm confused, friend. So you don't want to get a divorce, you just want to get custody. And Kenya was like, yeah, you know how Kenya does when it comes to Mark. She is just not really sure what she wants. I think ultimately Kenya wants that marriage to work. And Mark is not, he's not playing nice, So, she's just sort of like, she just wanted to make sure they handled the custody thing. And, it's always like she's trying to make it work, basically. Kandi says she doesn't really know why Kenya is trying to stretch this whole marriage thing out, but whatever. Cynthia comes and joins them while they're talking. And so she tells Cynthia what happened. Mark came. It's Brookie's birthday. So he's coming for her birthday. And, she's just kind of not sure what to do exactly. And Cynthia was like, well, really, the only thing that really is important right now is Brooklyn. Okay. And yes, we know that. Okay. So Kandi was just like, listen, you can come here anytime. You go on and leave and take care of your business. So Kenya, she has to lift the church finger, and she steps on out. All right, so she leaves. So they go back to the table and they eat, and the food actually looks really good. I told you guys that they haven't got the best reviews on the restaurant yet, but maybe it's getting better. I know that food that night looked good, the same way that the OLG, when they had the taste test, the food looked good too, and it took them a minute to tweak it and get it right. But I still have high hopes for Blvd. So anyway, Cynthia tells them that she sent them all information about the pop-up shop that she and Portia are going to be having. So hopefully they'll all be able to make it. And they say that they will make it, including Marlo. And speaking of Marlo, we start this whole conversation about her back. Oh, my back has been hurting. It's been hurting ever since. It's been hurting for a while. My nephews jumped on it. And it's too bad because I was going to go get liposuction, but now I have to wait. Shamia and Portia, they're over there on the other side of the table, and they're like, Shamia's like, wait a minute, what? You already got lipo. And Marlo is like, what? And she's like, yeah, you got lipo already, right? And she was just like, no, I haven't got lipo yet. And she was just like, oh, so you're saying what now? My nephew's jumped on my back. And she says, okay, so your nephew's jumped on your back before you got lipo or after? And she was just like, before. Wait, what are you saying? It's like, first of all, why do we care this much that she's had lipo? She just said that she wanted to get lipo, so it wasn't like she was trying not to say she wasn't getting lipo, but I guess they just trying to point out the fact that she's lying about her already having the lipo. She be trying to call us all these fake bitches and everything, and you was gonna go and sit on the table and let them suck the fat out your body. You know you got lipo and you got holes in your back to show it. So they start going back and forth about this liposuction. Not that it really should matter that much. It's so funny how all of a sudden Shamia, I mean, she's always been on Portia's side, but she seems to be caping real hard this season. I'm not quite sure what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I guess Shamia was like, hell, I'm about to make myself known too. And actually, this whole episode just felt like they was just like, the producers must have told them, like, y'all just go to town. Just say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do. So Marlo was just like, I don't know what's going on. Nora, what do you think it is? What do you think is going on with me and Portia's friendship? We not talking about us. I can sit at the table with anybody on Nora and break bread. I don't have to be friends with them. Okay. Nora just sort of like, what is going on here? But Marlo still wants to know, and Portia's just like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And it is like a really confusing, stupid conversation at the table, and everybody is just kind of watching, and it's just sort of like, we are so sick of Portia and Marlo's mess. But you know, Marlo lives for this. This is the thing that she likes to make people uncomfortable. She'll just keep on talking and saying things, and it's already clear that everybody around is not really okay with it, and she just keeps going. She just keeps going. She can't help herself. That's why I'm wondering how long this friendship with her and Kenya gonna last, because she just she has to say it. So she was just like, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna go home and get in my bed and know that I can sleep well at night, even if others can't. And Portia was just like, honey, I sleep very well when I get in my sheets by Portia Williams. So they just had this whole big scene at Candy's thing, and it was just sort of like, what was all that for? I guess it was just for good TV. So then we get like these little, you know how all of a sudden this season they just throw in little small blips of a scene between people. First we see Kenya. She's calling the doctor. She has a FaceTime visit with the doctor online, and she's showing him her boobs, which are humongous. I guess after she had the baby, her boobs, they were already large, and then they've gotten a whole lot bigger. She's probably breastfed and all of that. So now I think she's trying to get a reduction. So she's showing the doctor she wants them up higher and all of this. Then we see Cynthia and #Chill weighing themselves. Okay, he weighs 236 pounds. She weighs 195 pounds. I was shocked. I haven't seen Cynthia in a long time around Atlanta. I used to see her more often. We used to get our hair done at the same place when I had my short hair cut, and I would see her there. And she's really tall, so you know, she carries it well. She doesn't look overweight at all, you know. So she's but I was surprised, 195. I wouldn't have put her at 195, but you know, everybody been juicy this season. So, but she still looks great. We see Drew's working out with her husband. Okay, remember at the beginning of the season, she had that foot injury or whatever. So they're working out her foot, trying to get the mobility and I guess the full 100% use of that foot. She says still she's not able to wear heels or anything, so she's still trying to get that together. But then she and her husband get to talking about the christening of her baby. So you guys, listen. She get to telling us about Prophet Lot. Prophet Lot is a friend of the family. You know, he's a prophet. He's been prophesying around them for quite some time. Prophet Lot was supposed to be blessing her baby, the youngest baby. And she was all on board about that. But then there's some talk about LaToya seeing Prophet Lot. Now she's just talking to her husband Ralph, right? So she's telling him how, remember her driver had invited LaToya to the revival, and I guess Prophet Lot was the person that was given the revival. Okay, and maybe the driver must have been somewhat interested in LaToya as well, but she doesn't say that part. She just says that he invited her to that. I guess LaToya and Prophet Lot became friends, and Prophet Lot became the overseer of her salvation of sorts and started to minister to her, and he was her spiritual advisor. And the streets are telling Drew that LaToya and Prophet Lot started to see each other. And supposedly Prophet Lot is engaged, and of course, Drew already don't like the fact that LaToya is seeing men and she's still married, even though she's getting a divorce. So yeah, now Prophet Lot can't bless her baby because she can't have any prophet blessing her baby if he's out here having relations with somebody the likes of LaToya. I'm sitting there thinking, first of all, why is we calling him Prophet Lot? Okay, can we call him Pastor Lot? Like, who's called him a prophet? I know people say there are people that have the gift of prophecy. I get all of that, all right? But I just feel like it's so self-serving and everything. Just say that you pastor or you reverend or and then let us decide if you want us the prophet or not. But you going around calling yourself Prophet Lot, I got a side eye for you already. What the nigga name is? I shouldn't be disrespectful, but what's his name, you guys? Prophet Lot? Do we have a friend? Ernie, Marshawn, David, Marquise, Leonard, Paul, James, Roberto. What is it? Shit. All right, you guys. So Cynthia's pop-up shop. So Cynthia gets there, and they're trying to set up. So she's making sure that everybody has the equal amount of space. She said that the coronavirus, the pandemic hit everybody hard, and most people that were hit the hardest were small businesses. She herself was hit hard with her small businesses that she had, but somehow she was able to keep afloat. I was just like, somehow, huh? Oh, just a little thing called Real Housewives of Atlanta, girl, them businesses ain't doing nothing like the damn show is. Somehow was able to. Okay, Cynthia. Anyway, she wants to give everybody an opportunity. So they have different booths set up. You guys know how pop-up shops go. Good for Cynthia for trying to help out the community. So everybody's set up. Portia has a set up there too. I guess it's for her sheets. I'm not sure if her hair was there too. But honey, Portia came. She was all dazzled up, honey. Boobs. Everybody on the fucking show has like humongous boobs. Like all I can think between Candy, Cynthia, Portia, Kenya. It's just titties everywhere. Okay. But anyway. So we're going to open the doors and, we're going to let the people come in. So everybody is coming in. Marlo comes and she has her shopping money. She's going from booth to booth. Okay. Kenya has a booth there. Kenya's not there, but she has a booth there. She has somebody else working. And, Marlo, oh, let me get me some hair supplies from Kenya. Child, she didn't talked about my edges so bad. So support Kenya. And then, Portia's there too. Hey, Portia, give me some sheets. Give me a set of king-size sheets. Okay, let me get you a discount code. And she was just like, I don't need no discount. Just give me the king-size sheets. And Portia was just like, oh, okay. All right. So, Marlo, you can't say that Marlo was trying to cut any corners when it comes to supporting everybody, okay? And gave equally to Kenya and to Portia. Drew is there. And you know how Drew is. Once she get her head set on something, child, she ain't gonna let it go. All right, and of course, we vying for this position on the show, so I guess Drew was like, I'm fixing to come with all guns blazing. We at the end of this shooting season. So Drew get to telling anybody who want to listen about Prophet Lot and LaToya. So she hems up Candy, who is also there, and she's telling her about Prophet Lot. And Prophet Lot started to minister to LaToya because she met him at the revival, that the driver had then brought her to the revival, and then all of a sudden LaToya started to see Prophet Lot, and now she can't get her baby blessed by Prophet Lot because she don't like the fact that he's seeing LaToya and that she's that he's engaged and all that. And Candy is sitting there listening to her like, girl, what? Candy was just like, girl, you mean to tell me LaToya out here blocking messes? Girl, stop. I'm sitting there thinking like, Drew. First of all, it's very funny how she blames everything on LaToya and not the fact that the Prophet Lot, who has this higher calling and should be even, I'm sure women come at him all the time, okay? You can't act on them impulses. That means that you don't have control of yourself if it's so easy for some woman to just come up to you at a revival and all of a sudden you seeing them under the guise of spiritual guidance. So she's mad at LaToya and ain't really said nothing about the fact that Prophet Lot is the one that's supposedly engaged and not trying to honor his engagement with his woman back in Texas. So she tells Candy that, she tells Cynthia, and Cynthia was just like, look, I don't want to have no parts of this. So anyway, LaToya ends up coming as well. And you know, LaToya's pretty understated and quiet, and Candy goes up to her just like, girl, I heard that you got a new relationship. And she was just like, a new relationship? What are you talking about? Just some Prophet. And LaToya was like, Prophet Lot. I said, child, if this ain't a mess. Candy couldn't wait to go back and tell Toya. That's why I said they told them, listen, just do and say whatever the fuck y'all want to do and say in this episode. So, you know, Candy has tipped off Toya to the fool of fucking niggatry that's about to come from Drew. So they all sit down, you know, and Cynthia, she got wine for everybody from her wine cellar, Black Girl Magic, which actually is pretty good wine. And hey, shout out to Roger Nett, who sent me a bottle of Black Girl Magic. I never said it on the video, but thank you for that, as well as the Josh wine, which it turned out to be my favorite. And there was another bottle that you sent as well. I can't remember that one. Charge it to my head and not my heart. Thank you so much for that. I know I said thank you, but I wanted to do it on the video. Anyway, you guys, so you know, they pour her a glass and, you know, they're like, oh, is LaToya drinking again? Okay, yes, LaToya's drinking again. She gonna need a drink tonight. But the girls was so messy at that table. So Portia was just like, girl, you wasn't even at Candy's thing the other day. Where were you? Yeah, what was you doing, Toya? Drew, what was you saying that she was doing? What you said? And so now Drew has the stage. Oh, yeah, holding her mask in front of her face. You know, they said that you were mad that I found out that you were in a relationship with Pastor Lot, and you didn't want to come around. And LaToya was just like, I'm in a relationship with Pastor Lot. You don't even know what you're talking about, you know. And she says, yes, you know that my driver took you to the revival and you met Prophet Lot, and you guys started seeing each other and you were mad that I found out about it. And she was just like, oh my God, Drew is such a drama queen. And then side note, you guys, while I'm listening to this conversation, I'm sitting there thinking to myself like, okay, now it might just be very coincidental that her husband, her ex-husband, when he went on that rant last week, that he actually mentioned that she was seeing somebody that was like a pastor of a church, but then he was like, I'm not gonna say nothing about it. I mean, it seems very convenient that it would actually come up in this episode today, you know. I'm almost thinking to myself, like, did he know that it was about to come up? So, and to drum up more drama around LaToya and possibly get her back on the show for next season, he kind of hints at it. Now we talking about it on the show. And really, if we was really going to keep it 100, you guys, what pastor, what prophet is going to allow themselves to be thrown around so casually on a reality show such as Real Housewives of Atlanta when it's talking about you supposedly having an affair with a woman and all of this? Like, that is not a look that I would think that any pastor would want for themselves. You know, any prophet would want for themselves. So now I'm just thinking to myself, like, I mean, is all this drummed up? Who out there know about Prophet Lot? Do y'all know him in Texas? Okay, my Texas rock stars out there, y'all going to give me the 411 on Prophet Lot, because all of a sudden my my side eye was coming, because I was just like, this is very, very convenient, very, very convenient. But anyway, let me get back on track. So Drew is going off on her. You know, you are messing with the church and you are messing with lives here. You know, he has a fiance there and you are ruining their relationship, you know, by coming in. And I'm thinking to myself, so he not ruining his own, it's his relationship. But Drew, like I said, will not give, I mean, it's all on the Wicked City woman, LaToya, okay? And the fact that she done vamped him and now all of a sudden he can't think straight and he done so, you know, Candy is laughing. She was just like, y'all sure gave Toya a whole lot of power. Why we we ain't holding him to the cross like we are Toya. Toya tries to explain to her that, yeah, she was talking to Prophet Lot, that he was helping her along on a spiritual journey, because Cynthia was like, you did say you were on a spiritual journey, and she said, yes, I was, and I was talking to Prophet Lot. We are not in a relationship. He was helping me through things. But that ain't good enough for Drew. She said, oh, no, honey, you got the spirit of Delilah. And it was like, who is Delilah? And she was like, Delilah is the one that comes in and, you know, she acts like she's innocent, but then she uses her sexual prowess. Layman's, you guys. Anyway, she's preying on this grown-ass man who can't seem to control himself, I guess. So Drew keeps going on. You playing with families, you playing with lives, and you ain't right, and all of this. And Toya's just like, oh my God, I am leaving. I am going to leave. Poor Drew can't get her baby blessed because of me. But you know, Drew says she don't play when it comes to the church and her family. She don't play that. Now, lastly, you guys, we see Cynthia. She goes over to Kenya's house. Remember, Kenya was showing earlier in the season them working on her backyard. The final pictures of her backyard is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh, you can say a lot about Kenya, but honey, that house and that backyard is so nice. It is so nice. They finished the pool, so she goes back in the backyard with Kenya, and, you know, Kenya's just showing her the pool. Toya ends up showing up, and so does Marlo, okay? This is my first time here! And Marlo is excited, because Kenya hadn't invited her to the housewarming. That was the beginning of their fight. Candy also shows up, too. So it's Marlo, Candy, Toya, Cynthia, Kenya. So they go in the house, and they sit down. And Kenya tells them how, you know, did anybody notice that she, you know, her boobs are smaller. She got a breast reduction. And, you know, I guess you can't really, she's got on a sweatshirt and it probably is padded and shit, so you couldn't really tell. But, you know, she was just like, I didn't want them too small because, you know, I like to juggle them and, you know, I like to do this. I like to, you know, motorboat. And Cynthia's like, motorboat? What's motorboat? Okay. She was just like, oh my God. Cynthia always trying to act like she don't know what backdoor action is. She don't know what motorboat is, you know, so she demonstrates what motorboat is. Well, actually, Toya gets up and physically demonstrates because Toya love a titty. And honey, she ain't met a titty she don't like yet. So she goes over there and she does a motorboat in Cynthia's chest. Cynthia knows she like that. She always wanted some of that action in South Carolina. She just knew she couldn't act up like that. Anyway, Cynthia was like, what's going on with you and Mark? Okay, I saw you guys at Brookie's birthday party and you guys was just smiling. And, you know, Kenya starts smiling because it looks like her and Mark are going to try to work it out again. You guys know they go back and forth and back and forth. They like the Atlanta version of Ray J and Prinky. Not quite that bad, you guys, but almost. Every time you turn around, he trying to work it out. They breaking up, all this. So I guess this was one of those moments where they were trying to work it out, you know, and she was saying that he sent her all these text messages saying that he would like to work it out, you know, maybe they can go to counseling, blue child. Y'all already know actually, it's not even the final yet because I don't know where their relationship stands. We ain't really got no answers this season. Then Candy gets to telling them about how Drew was so upset at the pop-up shop the other day. Kenya wasn't there. So Kenya was like, well, what happened? Supposedly the prophet is engaged. LaToya was just like, okay, first of all, he is not engaged. Secondly, I'm not in a relationship with him. I am not seeing him. Yes, I did meet him, you know, from the driver when I went to the revival, and he became my spiritual advisor, and he would talk to me, and I guess he was just trying to lead her down the spiritually right path. So she was just like, but the whole thing is he's single, he's not engaged, and I'm about to get a divorce. So what is the big deal if I was seeing him, even though I'm not? So the girls are all kind of like riding her about this prophet. She was like, you know what? I'm going to call Prophet Lot. All right, get him on the phone, girl. So she gets him on the phone. Hey, Prophet Lot, you know, here go my girls. Hey, say hey to everybody. You know, they all like, hey, Prophet Lot. You know, the Merle's like, give me this phone. Prophet Lot, hey, all right, I see you in your Gucci. You might be my prophet because I need to make a profit. Child, that damn Marlo was a fucking man. And Prophet Lot was just giggling on the phone. So anyway, Prophet Lot, what is the story here? Well, Prophet Lot says pretty much what Drew said. That Drew's driver had invited LaToya to the revival. And then when Toya came, she was introduced to Pastor, Prophet Lot, excuse me, what the nigga name is, y'all. The driver was upset about that because now he has decided that he was going to be a spiritual advisor to LaToya, and the driver didn't like that. So I guess the driver was trying to push up on LaToya. She wasn't, you know, why deal with the driver when you could have a prophet? So anyway, you know, he is saying how, you know, he must have gone back and told Drew that they were seeing each other, but that wasn't true. You know, that they are not seeing each other, that he's not in love with her, that he is simply just spiritually mentoring her to try to get her on the right path. Well, Candy tells him that Drew said that you admitted that you were in a relationship with him, and he was like, I don't know where that came from. I never admitted that I was in a relationship with her at all. That never happened. And Toya's like, and can you tell him, are you engaged? And he says, nope, I'm not engaged. I haven't been engaged. She was like, and how long? And he said, in 3 years. And she was like, and he's not in love with me, and we're not seeing each other. All right, Marlo gets the phone. Are you in love with her prophet? Oh, no, you ain't got to answer that. You can plead the fifth like Candy did. I was like, she is a mess. So, yeah, but you know, he said that he's not going to allow anybody to force him into saying or doing anything that he did not say or do. All right, that he is not trying to see LaToya, and all of that is on Drew. So that's pretty much how it is, you guys. But yeah, I'm telling you, it's very suspicious to me that all this would come up the week before, and then here we go with this week. It's just like, you know how I feel when I feel like we're being led? I'm getting that little feeling again, but anyway. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. I got to get back to work. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.